Oh, since nobody's out here and it's nice and calm out here, there's no wind. It's about to rain though. Take a minute and talk about stance when you're throwing. I can go into detail about a lot of things about slinging, but one of the most important things is how you stand towards your target, what you're shooting at. It's my opinion that when you first start slinging, what you want to do is develop your shot first. You don't really want to try to aim. I mean, you can have something to aim at, and you can practice aiming, but until you develop that power and you got a solid shot, you really don't want to concentrate on aiming. You want to concentrate on getting a solid, consistent shot that is the same every time, and it does what you want it to do. Once you get that shot down, the key to hitting stuff and the key to aiming, see, it's better. I really think it's more important to develop the shot, because you have to develop some muscle and you have to get past all those aches and pains that when you first start slinging, that your shoulder's going to go through. And I can tell you right now, if you're throwing and it's hurting, it's probably not the right way for you. You might want to choose a different style. Because I can tell you, I tried a lot of different styles, and almost every one of them, it hurt my arm except for what I do. That's why that's kind of why I do what I do. But my shot's actually not a sidearm shot, it's actually an underhand shot. If you watch the video and you watch how I shoot really slow, you'll see that the ball comes up from below my hand. It's not on the side, and it's not above it. That's how you can tell when people release. You know, if somebody releases overhand, you're going to see their ball above their hand. Their ball will be up here when it gets released. Mine is down here when it gets released, right about here. I'm pulling up from the bottom. It's actually an underhanded shot. Once you get that shot down, you can concentrate on trying to aim. But it's really critical, as I was saying before, I was talking about stance. My stance has changed a lot since I started slinging, and it'll change for everybody. It depends on how your style ends up being and what you end up going with. Once you figure it out, I can tell you this: you don't want to stand sideways like this. Right to your target like that. It doesn't allow for your body to turn and release your shot enough. Unless you have a sling that releases like straight out at a 90, you might be able to do that. But what's critical about slinging is you got to find that sweet spot, man, where that release spot is, and you're at your maximum power with your body, and you're putting everything into that. So, you know, for everybody it could be slightly different, but for me, it's like I stand the way. I'm gonna come over here so you can see me a little bit. I try to stand almost square with the target, but when I'm shooting tennis balls, I'm slightly turned a little because I'm giving myself a little more added rotation on my hip. I stand back like this and I step forward when I shoot. And when I shoot, I can put everything that I got into that ball, including pressing off with my foot, including twisting my hip, twisting my waist, and of course my arm going across. I've got all those things functioning all at the same time. The thing is, your shot takes place all in a split second. So, you know, if everybody says do this or do that, you know, you got a split second to shoot that ball. When it comes swinging around and you put all that force into it, you got a split second. You can only do so much body movement. You can only do so much arm movement. It all has to be combined together to get that sweet shot off. So I just wanted to mention that. The thing is, once you get your shot down, the main thing is when you're shooting, once you get your shot down, what you want to do is forget about all that basic crap. Forget about the spin, forget all that. It's just like riding a bike. You know how to ride the bike, now you just need to steer it. So if you really want to get accurate, and what helped me, I'm not saying I'm the most accurate slinger in the world, but what I'm saying that really helped me was forget about all that basic stuff. Do your spin or do whatever you're going to do all the way to the point of release, not thinking about it, but looking at your target. Look at your target and forget that you even have a sling. Go through your motion like you're going to release that projectile as if you're throwing it out of your arm or whatever way. I don't mean literally. I just mean if you were to throw a ball, you don't sit there and think about where your arm's going. You don't think about all that stuff. You just do it, right? And it's the same thing with slinging. You got to be able to put yourself in that position where you're not thinking about all that basic crap, and you just get the shot off. Get the shot off and look at your target. If you're one of those guys that stands back and doesn't look at his target to the very last second, it's going to cause trouble. I'm just telling you. I used to do that all the time, but it's really hard to be consistent every time you keep taking your eye off that target when you do your windup. It's really, really important, in my opinion, that you look at your target when you're starting to wind up. Look at your target all the way through that windup and all the way through to your release. And I think your shots will improve. I think you'll notice that. So back to the 30. I shoot over buckets. It's about to rain out here, so I'm just trying to get some practice in before it rains, but I don't know what it's going to be like tomorrow.